Hey guys, how are you today? Russell here, Get Real, Get Happy, Relationship Excellence, Day 10. If you haven't watched the other ones yet, go back and watch them. They all build on each other. And if you haven't been commenting or sharing, get some comments and shares going. They really help me. Send me a bit of love, it's really great. I love to see who's watching the videos. Anyway, so today I want to talk about how people often say they've fallen out of love. But the truth is people tend not to fall out of love. They have a better tendency to fall into resentment. Which basically means there are things happening day in, day out that over a period of time build up blocks of resentment between you in the relationship. And a lot of this is based on the fact that you get angry and upset with your partner and you withhold communication. You don't say what's there for you. And withheld communication in a relationship is a killer. It can really kill the passion, the intimacy and the wanting to be together. And over a long period of time, that withheld communication just keeps building those blocks of resentment thicker and thicker until there's no communication at all between you. There's nothing that's actually valid, and you're walking around angry and upset with your partner because of the things that you think they do. So what you have to do to start communicating, to start breaking down these blocks of resentment, you have to look and be willing to let go of being right. You have to be willing to let go of making your partner wrong. You want to be moving those blocks of resentment out of the relationship, and those communications you're withholding, you have to stop withholding them. Sometimes they feel like they get stuck inside, and maybe you feel like it's going to cause an argument, or maybe you feel like some people sweep it under the carpet and you end up walking over this great big mound that's in the relationship because you swept so much rubbish under the carpet over the years. You have to start to go digging and start to get that crap out from under the carpet. You have to start delivering these communications no matter how painful they seem. Because what you're trying to avoid is you're trying to avoid this moment of pain in the relationship. It's not real pain, but it feels like pain. You're trying to avoid this moment of pain, discomfort in the relationship, but what it's causing is long-term suffering. And I've had communications that are just inside me that I wanted to share with Gail, and I know she's not going to be happy about it, but it gets stuck, and I have to force myself to say it. And sometimes I think to myself, well, that sounds small-minded or petty or like you don't love her. And so I go, I don't really want to say it, but it's so important to get the words out. And then the best thing you can do is set up a time in your relationship where you can, all of this will build on connection and date night and all that sort of thing. Don't do it at date night, but if you build the connection, it gets easier and easier to talk to each other. And what you need to do is set up a safe space to communicate. And then you make an agreement that you're going to say what you need to say to your partner, but that they're not going to react to it straight away. And in that way, it will allow you, when they say it, just do it like this. Say, okay, this is our safe time. Okay, let's communicate with each other. And it's better if one person does it at a time instead of two people, because one person do it and the other person does it, then you're back and forward. But create a safe time and say to your partner, okay, I've got something to communicate. Say the communication that you've got, and they agree to get the communication. Not to do anything with it, not to reply, not to argue, not to be hurt, not to take it personally, because we always take communication personally, but they agree to get the communication and just say, thank you, I heard what you're saying. And then maybe a night or two after, or after time's passed, then you can talk about the communication if you need to. And say whatever might follow up from it, but avoid doing it at the time, because if you do it at the time, what it does is if someone really doesn't like communicating, they say something to you and it causes a massive argument, they're going to shut down again and they're not going to communicate again, and then that slowly builds the blocks of resentment. So the way to do this is, if you've got something to communicate, have some sort of agreement in the relationship. Fridays at 6 o'clock is the ladies' time to communicate. Every other Friday. Thursdays at 5 o'clock is the gentleman's time to communicate. Every other Thursday. And then what you can do is you can go back and forward and you can say what's there. And it doesn't have to be that structured, but you can make it something like that. And then you just get the communication, don't take it personally, and slowly these things, and most of the time these communications are little things. You know, if they're great big kahunas, then you're going to probably need to come to mentoring and have us mediate for you and work through it. But most of the time these are little communications that you're just withholding because the person did something that made you angry. And rather than cause an argument, you hold it against them. You withdraw and keep it in your back pocket. Okay? So as you get the communications out, you will remove the blocks of resentment that are between you and your partner. And the more blocks you remove, the clearer they become to you. And the relationship starts to bond again. Okay? So set something up. If you're unsure how to do it, send me a message. I'll let you know. I'll give you some more instructions and help. But the most important thing that you get is that you don't fall out of love, you fall into resentment, and 9 times out of 10 it's based on withheld communication. Things you're making them wrong for that you don't even want to tell them you're holding against them. Alright guys, have a fab night. Russell Saunders, get real, get happy, transform in the way we do our relating. See you soon.